So Jim, I would imagine that one reason why someone might seek out a public speaking coach, especially thinking about Houston, that we are now the most diverse city in the U.S.
Yes.
We have people here from everywhere. There are public high schools in the city where something like 80 languages are spoken when these students go home. So I would imagine that one reason why someone would seek out a public speaking coach would be to deal with the accent of the initial language, the original language, and then here they are, they have learned English, they're communicating in English. Do you work with accent reduction? And if so, what all is involved in that?
I do work with accent reduction, and I certainly help people in that regard. If I look at some of the analogies we've talked about, one of them is the body is an instrument that plays the voice. And yet, if you are from a foreign country and you're coming here as a foreign national, you have learned to play your instrument differently than the Western vocal instrument is played, which means there are different rules of timing. There's different rules for cadence and enunciation and pronunciation and the overall flow of the language. And you bring that with you when you are picking up a new tongue. And what I do is very different than what you would get with an ESL type of situation.
Or a speech therapist.
Or a speech therapist, where this is literally a matter of body mechanics there, or a matter of vocal repetition to get the language out. Instead, I listen for what is working with the enunciation right now, and with a really well-honed ear, I can isolate things that will improve diction more quickly and begin to teach practices to enable a person to do that. And once people understand that there are some rules to playing the language of English on the vocal instrument you've got, and learn those rules, then things begin to shift. What I don't believe in is accent reduction where, I want to talk like an American. Well, you can get some of that from my voice, where it has the Americanized cadence and diction as part of it. You can get some of that. There could be some transfer. But I would argue that your voice and anyone's voice has within it a history of your culture, of your heritage, of all of that. And I don't believe that someone shouldn't lose that. What you want to do is bring that aspect of who you are into the English language in a way that allows people that you are routinely communicating with to understand you better.
That's a beautiful thing, that somebody doesn't have to erase who they are to meet some arbitrary standard. I hear you saying that you really are helping that person to leverage their vocal strengths and everything that they bring with their voice to really show up when they're in front of people.
To show up when they're in front of people, and really what you want is to be understood, and you also want to be to talk in a way that is pleasant for people to hear. And there are ways of holding the melody of the English language in a way where your natural inflections are able to express that melody in a way that does that, where it becomes more pleasant, it becomes easy to listen to.
Earlier we were talking, before we started rolling, about one of the things that's kind of my pet peeve, which is the mumbler. And you had some really interesting tips, or kind of a key to mumbling, and how you manage those pesky consonants.
Well, there's, if you look at mumbling and what it is, it's really the failure to pronounce words in a way that is able to be discerned by the hearer. And there's two aspects of the word, your vowels and your consonants, and the way the vowels are pronounced and the way the consonants are emphasized is going to radically impact what is heard. And if somehow through nervousness or through old habits that are now no longer serving you as well as new habits could, whatever the source, learning how to transcend that is a part of becoming better understood. It's a part of removing, or not removing, but transcending accent patterns from the languages that have a different time base than our English American language has. It can help with a lot of things.